Hey Techno Freaks, Techno Odin here, continuing the character breakdowns for Dissidia Final Fantasy NT. This time, when life gives us lemons, we squeeze them dry with Bartz.
Time's a-wasting! Let's get this show on the road!
A specialist, Bartz uses smart play and move management to make him a late game powerhouse. This is done through his freelancer job mechanic. Paying homage to his game of origin, Final Fantasy V, Bartz's attacks are all names of jobs he has to master, upgrading his attacks to stronger versions while granting him permanent buffs that once he has, cannot be taken away, not even by incapacitation. It works like so. To master a BP attack, Bartz will need to earn 13 attack points, or AP. Using the attack will grant 1 AP to that attack, while landing said attack grants 6 AP for a total of 7. Meaning you either land the attack twice for instant master or miss 13 times. You have 8 attacks to master 7 BP and 1 HP. The HP attack master points will vary depending on the attack you've chosen. So I'll talk about how many you'll need when we come to them. When you have mastered all your jobs, Bartz will gain the title of Master Freelancer, which will tie into his unique Exkill. His BP attacks are as follows. His neutral ground Monk is a 2-input move that has Bartz throw out 2 body blows, finishing with a straight punch. This sends the opponent flying for a wall rush. When mastered, Bartz will gain an extra 10% of his max HP, making it 3,850 or 3,950 with Alexander, and changes attacks into a Liu Kang style flying kick, finishing with a roundhouse kick to send the opponent flying for the wall rush. The mastered version has some good travel range and hyper armor, but mastering it isn't all that easy. Normal Monk's range is awful and linear. It's best to try and land it after a side dodge or from a wall rush close to the ground. His forward ground, Dragoon, has Bartz jump into the air, then plummet to the ground with a spear. When mastered, the buff will allow you to normal jump one more time, bumping you to the assassin's 3 jumps, and the attack itself will gain an increase in range while also shortening your Exkill cooldown by 1 second every time you land the attack. It's pretty much Kane's level 1 jump and should be used as such, as an evasive counter-attacking tool. His backwards ground is Black Mage, where Bartz casts Fire on the opponent. The mastered version increases his defense and gives him the 3-input combo of Firaga into Blizzaga into Thundaga. The move is hard to hit whether in normal or mastered, but you can move freely while you cast, and you can dodge cancel Blizzaga into another ground attack similar to Firion. It's best to use this on immobile characters. His neutral air Mystic Knight is a 3-input move where Bartz slashes 3 times while infusing his sword with fire, blizzard and thunder per slash. The mastered version grants a 20% default BP boost, bumping it to 1200 BP. So it's like your very own little Shiva buff. It also upgrades the spells you infuse your sword to Firaga, Blizzaga and Thundaga. This essentially buffs the attack range, and boy does it need it. Just like Monk, the range of Mystic Knight is pretty poor, but that's really the trade-off for these buffs. Having increased default health and bravery from easy to land attacks would be OP, and this attack works the same as Monk. Land it after a side dodge or a wall rush to guarantee connection. His forward air is Blue Mage, and it sees the return of his signature move in the PSP versions, Goblin Punch, where Bartz advances forward delivering multiple punches so fast you can't see them, knocking the opponent away for a wall rush. The move itself seems to have hyper armor, or just some good initial poise to it. Mastering this grants Bartz near Vanguard level poise for the rest of the fight, while also adding a 3-input combo of Goblin Punch into Deathclaw into Missile. But unlike other combos, this combo can be done regardless of if you've landed the attack or not, making it a great advancing move. This is one of those you need to master, as Bartz's initial poise is super low. I think it may be one of the lowest poises in the game, so boosting it up will really help in the long run. His backer, Ranger, has Bartz fire an arrow at the opponent, it's simple as that. Mastering this move increases Bart's attack damage, while adding the ability to charge the shot, which will send out a volley of arrows at the opponent. You can also move while doing the normal attack or while charging it. Now this should be the first buff you get, as you'll be using this and Black Mage in the neutral game, and that attack increase is no joke. Gaining it will really help you, plus you can use the volley for a bit of blockdown. His dash attack is Ninja, where Bartz dashes in and performs a spinning slash, then spins the other way, slashing and knocking the opponent away for the wall rush. The move has hyper armor, but only on the second slash, meaning until then you will get knocked out of it, making it a very risky move. But mastering this will reduce the dash gauge depletion rate while also making you invincible upon using the attack. Now the problem is landing the attack. The tracking seems so temperamental that I had so much trouble landing this thing. Sometimes the move would go long distance, and sometimes the move wouldn't even move an inch. For HP attacks we start with Samurai, where Bartz uses Spur Change followed by an IE Strike. I'm not using the Final Fantasy V names, as I would butcher the pronunciation so bad it would be an international incident. Basically he throws Gil, then hits him with a sword. The move is chargeable, with Bartz tossing 3 clumps of Gil at level 2 and 5 clumps at max charge, making it great for catching multiple opponents and a really powerful 1v1 at point blank. To master this move you will need to land it twice, and mastering it shortens the charge time of Spur Change. His second HP attack, Geomancer, is 2 attacks in 1. On the ground, Bartz uses Earthquake, erupting a spear of earth into the air, hitting anyone in its range. In the air, it becomes Wind Slash, where Bartz conjures an orb of slashing wind that hunts the opponent relentlessly. It's almost like Tenebrous Blast, but without the initial BP damage beforehand. It takes 3 hits to master, and doing so makes Earthquake send out multiple Earth Spears and increases the size and speed of Wind Slash. His third HP attack is Knight, a counter-based HP attack similar to that of Firian's, which when activated will slash them twice, dealing BP damage on the first hit, then HP damage on the second. This move only needs to land once to master, and when it does, it allows Bartz to counter everything, from BP attacks to summons to HP attacks. His fourth HP attack is Dancer, the most fabulous HP attack in the game. Like Geomancer, this is kind of like 2 attacks in 1. You have what seems to be a 50-50 chance of either getting Tempting Tango, a quick move where you majestically leap in, then strike him away with your sword, or his real move, Swords Dance, where Bartz puts on his red slippers and majestically leaps in and goes all Billy freaking Elliot on their ass, before slashing them away with the sword, dealing the HP damage. If it happens to perform Swords Dance, you are invincible until the end. This takes 3 hits to master, and once mastered, the move will always be Swords Dance. Now all of his HP attacks are great, and defined by what is needed. If you need a close range assassin vanguard-like character, then Dancer and Samurai are your go-tos. Dancer is the move I lean more towards due to that invincible Swords Dance, but the power of Samurai is great too, while Geomancer allows you to fill that marksman role if you have too many close-range characters. Knight allows that defensive support playstyle, but while it is my favourite and offers that very tempting one-hit master and blocking HP attacks, it's still a counter-based move that doesn't activate unless you are hit when using it, which makes it more of a liability, as like with Firian's Riposte, it will leave you without a way to eliminate the opponent if enemies choose to ignore you. His unique EX skill is Good Luck Charm, a move that buffs your teammates' attack, defense and movement speed for about 15 seconds. The skill sits on a 60-second cooldown, and the potency depends on how many jobs you have mastered. You also need to have at least 1 job mastered for the move to actually do anything. The biggest buff for you as Bartz is that when this skill is active, it will shorten the amount of hits you need to master your jobs, making it only need about one attack to land, and in my experience this is where you go for those awkward moves to land like Monk, Mystic Knight, Ninja, and your HP attacks. For general EX skills, I say Boon should be your core, as it affects Good Luck Charm, extending it somewhere between 20 to 25 seconds, making it so your team is buffed for longer and you have more time to master your jobs. Now you can pair it up with any time buff you want. I also say try running Sheer Bravery too if you are running the Knight HP attack, as if your opponent chooses to not attack you, you can still be of use. And for fun, let's go with Mimic, because it's what he was in the PSP Dissidias, and the move itself is quite interesting. It takes a buff from your targeted enemy, and this can also include buffs like Zidane's Stolen Attribute from Steel or Free Energy, so use that nugget of information how you will. As for team comp, I do find that having a Zidane on the team really helped me get some free hits in off his scoop art, but remember to be flexible as we go into my thoughts on the character. Bartz himself is hella fun to play. From a character who was nothing more than Dissidia's version of Mokujin, he has really come into his own. Now that being said, he has so much mechanics that remembering it all can actually hurt your head. But when you know a rhythm into what order of moves to use, you start to become a real threat. And from what I've gathered, there is a somewhat order to things that really helped me out. Obviously you start with the ranged attacks, so like Ranger, as this is when you are in the neutral game. So if someone's coming to attack head on, you use Ranger. If they're staying relatively still, you use Black Mage to get your attack and defense buffs. If the enemy gets too close, you can just use Dragoon to dodge their attack and land your own. So these three are my natural play master jobs, ones you will just master without realizing it. Blue Mage should be mastered shortly after, as now you have the poise and a great advancing combo. Now you can use these attacks as your main attacks to go off. If you have Good Luck Charm and Boon ready, pop them and go for the harder to hit moves to get super swole, and pretty much that's how I've been getting success with Bartz so far. Generally not focusing on getting my buffs, but going through the play and then trying to get buffs every now and again when the time is right. Overall, Bartz is essentially Thanos. Takes a long time to build up, but when it's time, he reduces the fanbase to tears. Truly the best specialist so far.
I haven't had that much fun in a long time.
Okay guys, that's it for today's breakdown. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell thingy, and share this video. Also, if you have any tips and tricks you found yourself, please share them in the comments section below. And finally, tune in next time where we surrender to the void with X-Death. But until that day, this has been Techno Odin. Take care!